more time. I shall mine eyes to Calvary to view the cross where Jesus died for me, and how marvelous His grace that caused my falling soul, that God ordained for him to win. Oh my God, I don't know why I'm going this way, but I thank him on tonight because I used to be that woman. Because you see, we've gone to college, we've gotten our education, and even if you haven't gone to college, God has equipped the women with a way to know how to work the system. We know how to meet our needs. We know what different things are out there. So now we've got a society full of women that think that I don't need a man. I don't need anybody to help me, but I can do it all by myself. And that's all right if you're independent. But God said, when do you get back to the point that you need me? Tell your neighbor, say, I'm living beneath my means. Say, I'm living beneath my means because I have stepped out of purpose, because I have stepped out of the camp, because I have stepped out of what God has ordained for me to do. I'm living beneath my means. Hey! We are living beneath our means. God has placed us in a place where he designed for us to be comfortable. God has placed us in a place where he has designed for us to prosper. But we get so caught up in wanting to know what's on the outside that we step outside of purpose. You don't believe me? Go back to the book of Genesis, chapter 34. You'll find a young lady by the name of Dinah. She was the daughter of Jacob and Leah, and she was the only daughter between the two, which meant she was favored just like we've been favored by God. But because she wanted to know what was going on the outside of the camp, she decided to get curious and step outside of where she was purposed to be. Well, what happened to her, you might ask? Well, when she stepped outside of the camp, because she was so beautiful and her beauty was not ready to be exposed yet, when she stepped outside of the camp, she met the favor of the Canaanite prince. And because he was so overwhelmed by her beauty, he raped her. That is the word. That is the word. And some of you may say that word is a little bit harsh, but let me tell you something. That's what the enemy is trying to do to the society of women today. He's trying to rape us of our purpose. He's trying to rape us of our destiny. He's trying to rape us of everything that God has equipped us to have, because he keeps on making us step outside of our purpose. He's trying to rape you of your peace. He's trying to rape you of your rest. You sitting up all hours of the night trying to figure out how you're going to work it out, how you're going to get the bills paid, how you're going to fix this situation, how you're going to take care of this child. God said the enemy is trying to rape you of your rest. Hallelujah. And so what happened was, because the prince was so overwhelmed by what he had done, not only was he wasn't just satisfied with that. The enemy isn't satisfied with just raping you of your purpose, but he wants to be joined together with you in union. He wanted her hand in marriage. See, the enemy don't want to just kill your purpose, but he wants you to be joined together with him. We live in today's society like this is it, like hell ain't real and like heaven ain't real. We say what we want to say and we do what we want to do without realizing a consequence. And so this Canaanite prince decided that he would go to Dinah's father and ask her hand in marriage. And when he got there, because her brothers had heard about what they had done, they were infuriated, and they decided that they would get back at this prince. So what they did was they allowed the prince to believe that he could have her hand in marriage. But the only way he could have her hand in marriage was if he agreed to go about their religious custom. He said the only way you can have our sister's hand in marriage is if you agree to circumcise yourself. And not only you, but every man in your kingdom will have to agree to circumcise themselves. And because Dinah was so powerful in who she was, everybody in that kingdom agreed to be circumcised. We have to understand as women just how powerful we really are. Sometimes as a woman, you don't even have to say anything. All you have to do is step on the scene. And because you stepped on the scene and who God had ordained you to be, the whole situation changes. But let me let you know something. Because Dinah stepped out at the wrong time, let me tell you what happened. When you step outside of purpose, because the men agreed, the brothers decided after they had been circumcised, they would go back to the kingdom on the third day, when they knew that all the men in the kingdom would have the most pain from the situation of what they had just done. See, these brothers were wise, and they knew that they would be in the most pain on the third day. So what they did was they went back in the kingdom on the third day and killed every man in the kingdom. Not only did they kill every man, but they stole all of their livestock. They took their families into bondage. And this is what I'm trying to tell you as a woman. We have to realize how powerful we really are. But if we step outside of purpose at the wrong time, we will cause a whole generation to be destroyed. All because we stepped outside of purpose at the wrong time. Tell your neighbor, timing is everything. Timing is everything. You can't think stuff is all about you. You can't think stuff is all about your timing. You get up and do when you get ready. You be progressive when you finally decide to do so. But when God tells you that now it's a time, you have to understand that now it's just a time. It's not time to be getting caught up in situations. It's not time to be getting all stressed out. Don't know which way you're going. Don't know left from right. Don't know up from down, because you all tore up from everything you're going through. You have to realize it's the enemy's job to get you distracted right now. It's the enemy's job to get you to step outside of position. It's the enemy's job to get you distracted, because he realizes that there is a blessing inside of the camp.
You were born that God might get the glory. Jeremiah said, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee, and before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee, I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. I can't preach the whole message, but what happened is, this is the point that she kept saying, and this is what the Lord wants me to tell you where you are right now. You are at a critical state in your life. And when you think about critical, you think about when people have cancer, or people have diabetes, or even myself dealing with lupus. When you first find out you have it, you're not in the worst state. But sometimes throughout the years, you begin to get to a critical state. God allowed you to have choices in your life. And every choice that you make was not a good one. But some of y'all did not obey God. You were not obedient to the pastor. He threw out lifelines. He threw out prophets. He threw out words, and you still were not obedient. Even now, he is wooing you. He's calling you by your name, and some of you letting the word just flow off of you like this is a regular church service. Baby, this is a surgery. You are in the room for surgery tonight. God said your life has been so critical that tonight he is putting you in surgery. And the first thing that happens in surgery, you have to go through anesthesia. When you go through the anesthesia, that that relaxes your mind. They get you to a mind state that you are calm. And one thing happens is you begin to reflect about how you didn't go through the thing you should have went through. How God really blocked it when you should have been messed up, but God blocked it. He wouldn't let it be so. How you are about to lose your mind, lose your house, lose your car, lose everything that belonged to you. But when you get in your mode of relaxation, when you're all busy, you think about the negative stuff. But when you really relax and reflect on the goodness of God in your anesthesia, all you can say is that God is good. Now as she began to preach, you begin to go through surgery. She was saying things that were hurting you. And when you're in surgery, God is picking out those friends, taking you from jobs that you had for 20 years and you was relying on those checks. He takes away those crutches that you used to lean on, those people that you could call up in a minute and they would be right there for you, those things that you could ask folks for, those people, those friends, those ace-boon cooks. He is detaching you because you didn't have enough sense to let go of them yourself, because you didn't realize that the purpose inside you was bigger than what you could see. You trying your finite mind. You have a finite mind. You trying your finite mind to describe what a blessing is. That's what I made him look at when she talked about what she was dealing with, because the statement I had in here is don't curse the blessing because of the strain. And some of you think you know how to define a blessing, but you don't know that that person that's rolling their eyes at you, that's a blessing sometimes, because you don't need them in your life. That person that left you, that was a blessing because they was about to mess up your purpose. When you lost everything you lost, that was a blessing. You ought to tell somebody that was a blessing. Oh. It was a blessing. It was a blessing. It was a blessing. You was about to go somewhere you weren't supposed to, but your stomach started hurting. That was a blessing. When you got diagnosed with that disease, yeah, we're going to pray for your healing, but that was a blessing because that limits you to what you can do in your life. Because if you really had perfect health, you wouldn't even be sitting here listening to my voice right now. Who can define a blessing? But guess what? Everything God does, he does what? On purpose. We're making an altar call. Keep on. So as you go through the pain, you're under anesthesia because you got the greater one living on the inside. So you got to realize that when you're under anesthesia, you're walking in a strength that's not your own. So even though you're going through the pain of the doctor taking whatever he needed to take off and moving, that means when your friends are leaving you, it's painful and you got wet pillows and your body hurt, because you know when something messes up, your whole body just messes up. It don't matter if your body hurting or not. If something happens in your life, any situation, anything that's dramatized, that it just escalates in your body and you're in pain. You walking in a strength that's not your own. You are having the greater one living on the inside. So while you're dealing with surgery and the doctor sews you back up, there's one more place you got to go. See, you gonna mess up because I won't preach it, but I preached 2 weeks ago, which was God spared me to recover all. Because he did do that. But how she that was in ICU. When she gave me this mic, he put you in ICU. In ICU, you got to have your mindset change. Because you have to have the will to fight. You got to have the will to live. Because a lot of times the doctor can walk out and say the surgery went good. But after they get out of surgery, somewhere that person give up on life. Some come out, some don't come out. So that's when you got to go back and reflect on your purpose. I can't give the whole message. Think about some of y'all went to school to be so many things that you're not. Am I telling the truth? Yeah. Some of y'all went to school to be nurses and teachers, and you working at Berger and Walmart. Guess what? It's on purpose. God, I shouldn't have married him, honey. He was a hot mess. It taught you not to go there no more. See, you allow these things to make you get bitter. See, you working it the wrong way, girl. You working it the wrong way. It's supposed to make you better. Everybody's not meant to be married. Well, honey, she can say that because somebody in the bed. Well, honey, they might not be in the same bed. You ain't in their house. We are such creatures of sight. You are so caught up in the norm. But tonight, he wants you to know that your purpose is praise. If you don't know nothing else, your purpose is praise. He didn't even give you a long list of who can praise him. He just said, let everything. I just want to know, did you put on the right garment tonight? Did you put on your garment of praise? He said, I inhabit the praises of my people. He lives in your praise. Tonight, don't you leave out of here not stepping outside of the box. If you're not shout, you don't need to shout. But you need to step out your pew and get up out of where you are. Just like the service took you over. Honey, I won't mad at her preach. When he was up here, I told him to preach. I'm not qualified to preach. I've been preaching since I was 12. I don't preach for response. I preach for results. I've been through enough hell in my life. When I walked in this church, I was preaching, honey. When I walked in this church, I was preaching. I haven't talked to Mr. Berger or his daughter, but they'll tell you the last time they saw me, I was in a wheelchair. So I don't have to preach. When I step in the... See, when you know your purpose, honey, can't nobody tell you nothing. It's not that you think you cute, but it's a pride you got in yourself. That when I step in,